Okay, hope you guys enjoyed the MLB draft breakdown, and if you joined us for the MLB draft live stream yesterday, thank you very much. Now we got to talk about the Home Run Derby preview. The Home Run Derby tonight, obviously, what is it, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central?
That sounds right. Yeah, I mean,
it's right.
It's at night. When you're done with work, we're going to watch a bunch of dudes hit dingers, and I can't wait.
You're good. It's primetime stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through the field, kind of give them our feel. This will, be 10, 15 minutes. And we really want to dive into the odds. Obviously, all of the odds are presented by BetMGM. But the rules, there was a change to the rules this year. And I think it's for the better, but if you wouldn't mind laying them out.
Absolutely. And I'm going to read it so, I don't mess myself up. But each batter will have 3 minutes in rounds 1 and 2 minutes in the championship round to hit as many home runs as possible. Obviously, it's a home run derby. 30 seconds of bonus time will be granted to each hitter at the conclusion of the round, and an additional 30 seconds can be earned by hitting a home run that exceeds at least 440 feet. So we've noticed over the last home run derbies that a lot of the winners lean younger. Why? Stamina. It's not the same home run derby where you get 10 outs and then you get a bunch of breaks. There's not as many commercial breaks.
No, and
thankfully.
You can take a billion pitches too.
Exactly. Yeah. There's none of that. So it's time. So what's been awesome is shout out Colby Olson. Colby Olson, who's head of our partnerships, head of our analytics team. He has been working on an actual formula that has produced the winner over the last few years. You're smiling because a formula for the home run derby. It's obviously random, but there are a few indicators that I do want to talk about that have proven to be true for the winner over the last few years.
Okay, you take me through them.
So the past winners obviously can be very unpredictable, but you need your stamina. So the number one thing is age is not just a number. So because of we're taking out the outs and you have to actually have some stamina. It can't be some of these older people. The winner has been 26 years or younger, dating even back to 2016. Giancarlo Stanton, when he won in 2016, he was 26 years old. Aaron Judge was 25. Bryce Harper, 25. Pete Alonso, twice. It was when he was under 26. When he went to 27, he hasn't won it since. Juan Soto won it at 23. Vladdy won it last year at 24. So it's clear. Since the StatCast era began, the winner of the Home Run Derby, 26 years or younger.
Okay, so who fits the criteria here? Teoscar Hernandez does not. Gunnar Henderson does. Bobby Witt Jr. does. Are those the only two?
So the participants, Pete Alonso? No. Marcell Ozuna? No. Adolis Garcia? No. Gunnar Henderson? Yes. Bobby Witt Jr.? Yes. Teoscar Hernandez? Jose Ramirez? Alec Bohm? Is Alec Bohm?
I think Bohm might be 26.
He might be 26, so we'll keep Bohm in there for now. He might be 27, but spoiler alert, my pick is not going to be Alec Bohm. Okay, I think he's going to drive doubles in the gap. We'll talk about him later. Yeah. The second part of the formula, max exit velocity. So as exit velocity increases, potential home run distance also increases, which gives batters a better chance of hitting more consistent home runs, right? Because if you can hit the ball harder than most, you're going to luck out on a few home runs, right? So it has to be over 116 mile an hour for the max exit velo. Giancarlo Stanton, Judge, Harper, Alonso twice, Soto and Vladdy all had max exit velos during the regular season over 116 miles an hour. So if we're looking at among the players who have hit the ball at least 116 miles an hour, it is Bobby Witt Jr., it is Jose Ramirez, Adolis Garcia, and Pete Alonso.
Okay. So Gunnar has not done it.
Gunnar is 113, which was surprising to me because he's hitting 27 home runs. You'd expect him to be at a max of 116. And the thing is with Gunnar, he hasn't done it yet this season, but I don't think any of us don't think he's capable of doing it.
No, he's going to do it, yeah.
Which is interesting. And another wrinkle in this, Jose Ramirez technically qualifies because he had 116 from the right side. Okay, 109.8 from the left side, which is funny because he hits more from the left, more batted ball events, so that can, but it is a max EV anyway. So.
It's a max EV, so it's just one, and he's probably a natural right-handed hitter. I don't know for sure. I'm sure that's out there somewhere, but I bet he's a natural righty that taught himself lefty.
Also, Alec Bohm is 27, so he doesn't qualify on the first one.
So the only two guys are Gunnar and Bobby Witt.
But technically, Gunnar doesn't qualify for the max EV
Correct.
that we have so
So
far.
if you're going through like a filtering process, Gunnar filtered out.
The winner should be Bobby Witt. And Colby also put in swing speed, because swing speed is going to be important. It's a new metric on Baseball Savant. So the leaders in swing speed are Pete Alonso, Bobby Witt Jr., Gunnar Henderson, and we want over 87 miles an hour.
Okay.
Marcell Ozuna, Adolis, Teoscar, they're all lower than that. And even Jose Ramirez from the left side is down to 80.7.
Okay.
So there seems to be a winner here. And then the fact that Bobby Witt Jr. also grew up
Here.
20 minutes from the stadium.
Yeah, he went to Colleyville Heritage, yeah.
And on BetMGM right now, he is the favorite to hit the longest home run.
Okay.
Which is interesting because you might expect that to be Marcell Ozuna, Adolis Garcia.
Yeah.
But Bobby Witt Jr. is the leader.
Now, I will say the new rules that are put in place, because obviously it's still a timed round like it is in recent years, but they also have a maximum number of swings that you can take. So it's not just like rapid fire, go, go, go. It's a maximum of 40 swings.
Yes.
Right? So that, I feel like, is their effort to kind of try to bridge the gap between the, you get 10 outs, just take a billion pitches, conserve your energy, and swing 80 times in 4 minutes, try as hard as you can.
But at the same time, 40 swings is a number that isn't reached often. So 40 swings is not dampening it much. It's a little bit, but not like, I think a couple of guys have had 41, 42. I don't think they've really like crush it down that much.
Yeah. Like the thing that I have had trouble with the last couple derbies is you can't admire the flight of the ball.
Agree. We were there in person and it almost felt too fast. Like I almost
wish
I was watching it on TV. I don't know if it was a better experience, but we've been at the last few home run derbies and it's almost too quick. It's fun.
I'm trying to appreciate where the ball lands.
It's constant dingers, but at the same time, I can't appreciate the distance. I want to appreciate the distance, and this derby format doesn't really allow us to do so.
Yeah, I think they are trying to let the fan appreciate the distance now, and maybe this slows the pace down of these guys. And I mean, again, like quick pace, advantage young guys.
Do you like the new rules?
I
Because
do.
me personally, I'd rather go back to the 10 outs. I'm fine with the breaks.
No, I'm not good with the takes.
Really?
Like,
I've always been fine with that.
no, guys would take like 8 pitches in a row, and I did not like that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fair. Fair.
So like,
but
I don't love the takes.
But I feel like we
swinging.
don't see 500-foot home runs anymore because of the new rules.
Sure, but like I'd rather see 30, 420-foot homers than, like 15 480-foot homers.
I think I'd rather see 15 480-foot homers.
Fair.
And the thing that is just ingrained in my head, Josh Hamilton at Yankee Stadium, that is the greatest route I've ever seen.
It's
so
the
I'm
greatest
just
home run derby round
automatically
ever.
going to like that one more.
So I hear you, but like Julio last year was electric. And I do think that the timed round actually puts more pressure on the BP thrower, on the thrower. And I think that the batting practice pitcher is like a very important element of this. Like Teoscar Hernandez has Dino Abel. Like we know Dave Joust was goated for a minute because like he was just giving BBs to Pete Alonso and he was ripping him. Like that should be an added element to this. You need the help of your pitcher. And I think that the timed round is that versus the 10 outs. Like you don't really get that because if your pitcher is, only putting it where you want it 1 out of every 6 pitches, you're going to take 5. I like limiting the non-baseball time, and that was, the essence of the pitch clock. I think that's the essence of this, where it's like we're limiting the takes, we're limiting the look on your phone, and then you miss a swing. I want to be locked in for the entirety of a guy's round.
That's more than fair. Just going back to your point about the BP throwers, we were joking around about it, how Teoscar Hernandez maybe should have a left-handed thrower because the dude's splits against lefties are so incredible. Right. And then also J-Ram, right? We're talking about potentially he's a natural right-handed hitter. His max EV is way higher from the right side. His swing speed is higher from the right side.
We saw Adley switch. Adley
switch.
I think we could see J-Ram, be on one side, work until he gets tired, and then he flips around, and he's got, kind of fresh life under him. So we'll see. In terms of, we can just kind of rapid-fire power ranking this thing. Yeah. Like, just looking at the 8. I think you and I are consensus the 8 spot in this.
And before we even begin our 8 spots, I want to make it clear. So BetMGM, the way they have lined up the odds is Pete Alonso is the favorite. Marcell Ozuna and Adolis Garcia are kind of co-second favorites. Their lines are very similar. Then co-third favorites, again, lines very similar. Gunnar and Bobby Witt. Then down the line you go Teoscar Hernandez, then Jose Ramirez, then Alec Boehm being the last. So I think, and I think you think, Alec Bohm should be power ranked at 8.
Correct.
Alec Bohm is one of the best hitters in this competition, but what is Alec Bohm known for? Doubles in the gap.
Right.
And I do want to tell Major League Baseball one thing. We cannot have the kids out there shagging with Alec Bohm.
No,
hitting.
absolutely
no
not.
way. He is going to.
Don't say it. Yeah,
I'm not going to say it.
No,
Get the kids out of the
it's
outfield
a real
when he's
risk.
hitting.
It's a real risk.
Get the kids out of the outfield.
Yeah.
And number 7, I want to say Jose Ramirez.
It gets tight.
But he's already been there.
I know.
I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna put Teo at 7.
So I hear you. Teo hits the ball very, very hard.
And I love Teo.
I think Bohm is kind of like the runt of the litter, with all due respect to Alec Bohm.
But he might be the best hitter in this thing.
I know.
Or one of them.
Well, no,
there's
I've
a couple good
I've
ones
got
in here.
Jose Ramirez on line
I also
one,
have guttered Bobby on line
right,
one.
right. Line 2 and 3. No, I hear you on that. I agree that Teoscar should be 7 because I'm thinking, like, I'm not going to doubt Jose Ramirez. However, I will put Jose Ramirez at 6.
I will also put Jose Ramirez at 6. And now it gets interesting.
So I go to Marcelo Zuna at 5.
I don't mind that. I'll go with that one too.
Okay.
There's something about it where I just don't believe he's going to win. If we're talking about stamina,
I don't think he's got it.
I think he has as much power as anybody.
Yeah.
But
I think he's going to be awesome for the first 2 minutes.
yes, I think he's going to have a really good round 1, and then he's going to kind of taper off a little bit. And weirdly enough, 114.6 max EV for him. So he's not obviously in the age category, but he also wouldn't be in the max EV category either. Adolis would, and I would put Adolis at 4.
Okay. I would also put Adolis at 4 because I've got so much faith in the front 3. Like, again, I would love to put Adolis higher. Having said that, like, I have questions about the age and frankly, like, the season he's having so far this year. Like, he has not been great. He has not been Adolis of 2023. This is where we can embrace debate. At 3, I've got Pete Alonso.
I don't think we'll have to embrace debate.
We're going to embrace debate at 2. But
yeah, we are.
At 3, I've got Alonso. Like, I don't know, man. Again, he's a couple years removed from that Derby, from those Derby wins.
He's 29 years old. He still hits the max EV. He hit 116.3 miles an hour this year.
I can appreciate the deadlifting and the squatting in between rounds. Like, I can appreciate all that. And I know this is his Super Bowl, but, man, like, I don't know. There's something about the two youngins that makes me put Alonso at 3.
And with Gunnar technically not fitting the formula, like, yes, and that's why we'll talk about my number 1. But I have such a hard time believing that Gunnar couldn't hit 116.
Yeah.
Like, of course he could.
Right.
He just hasn't this year.
Right.
For whatever reason.
Yeah.
But 113 being his max EV, it's not 115.
I'm not scared of it.
It's just weird.
I'm not
like,
scared
I just
of
think that's an interesting tidbit for all those at home.
It is. Okay, number 2, I have Bobby Witt Jr.
I have Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's just this formula has predicted every winner so far, or at least it's brought us to the bucket. So last year, I picked Julio Rodriguez. He did not win. But Julio Rodriguez, Luis Robert, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hit the credentials.
Criteria. Yeah, they fit the criteria.
To win this whole thing. And I just picked the wrong one. This year, because this formula
There's
has been
one guy
so
that
good
fits
at
the
picking
criteria.
it, I have to go with that guy. But if Ty goes to the runner, Ty goes to the guy who grew up here.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
that's
fair.
why for me, it just, I'm going to go with Bobby for sure.
Fair. So I lean Gunner because I just feel like there's a chance Bobby puts on a laser show of line drives and Gunner is more lift inclined.
Yeah. I mean, I can't debate the fact that Gunnar Henderson has 27 or 28, whatever home runs he has.
So I go with
Bobby
the guy.
has 15.
I know. I go with the guy that's nearly doubling him in the homer department, and I love that right field line at Globe Life.
And also, we saw Roman Anthony for the Boston Red Sox win the skills competition.
Lefty, right field.
Peppering right field. And we also saw Sebastian Walcott, who's doing really well from the right side, but it did look a little bit harder. Did it look? We were right behind home plate.
He's also 18.
He's also 18.
Like,
That's
tough.
true. That's true.
Tough.
I do have Roman Anthony of the Red Sox, who, by the way,
Amazing.
unbelievable swing. Won the skills competition. Looked fantastic. But yeah, that put a little scare in me as a Bobby Witt Jr. backer, knowing Gunner's a lefty, knowing his age, knowing how much power he actually has. But I'm sticking with my guns here. I'm going with Bobby.
All right. Peter has Bobby Witt Jr.
Mm-hmm.
I have Gunnar Henderson. We're obviously going to give out our home run derby picks on all of our social media channels at Just Baseball. This is going to be a show tonight. Home run derby, Globe Life Field. Again, we think it's 8 p.m. Eastern.
It is 8 p.m. Eastern.
Okay,
yeah, we
there
got
we
8
go.
p.m.
8
Eastern.
p.m. Eastern.
Also, code Just Baseball on BetMGM. If you want that first bet offer up to $1,500 back in bonus bets, good idea to use it on a home run derby pick because I laid out a great formula, right?
Plus money. Yeah.
At the end of the day, this is the home run derby. Like, we're trying our best. This has proved to be great. Teoscar Hernandez could win it, and nobody would be surprised. So it's a good idea. Use that code so you can get it back in bonus. But remember, gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or older. Terms and conditions apply. But this is a good idea to use the promo on this one because, of course, it is a home run derby. And Bobby Witt Jr. sounds great, right? He's plus 500. So there's the implied probability of that. He probably doesn't win.
And guess what? Peter and I are together, so we're both wearing our Just Baseball merch.
Go get yours in the episode description. We got polos, we got hats, we got the whole 9 yards. And also, rate and review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you enjoyed this episode, 5 stars. It's the best way to help out this show. As well as if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that big red subscribe button. And we're going to keep, you want to keep doing the podcast forever?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so we're going to give you guys episodes until the end of days.
Thank you.
What?
Everybody?
Thank you, everybody.